Although yes, hands down, no argument here that weight training and heavy resistance training is going to be better for you at building muscle than Pilates will be. So today we're going to be talking about Pilates, and immediately you're probably here because you're upset by the title or the thumbnail, but fear not. Not only am I going to give you 5 reasons as to why Pilates might not work for you, I'm also going to give you some reasons as to why it might work for you. First of all, before we do that, we need to understand what Pilates apparently is, as many people have different definitions. Pilates, for example, states, Pilates is a mind-body exercise that challenges your core while sculpting longer and leaner muscles, resulting in a toned, dancer-like look. That's going to be relevant shortly, and we'll get to that. But before we do, a couple of things I'm going to say. Firstly, tfnl clothing, you know, is linked down below in the description, so if you do fancy it while it's still here, because it won't be here forever, do have a gander, as I would appreciate it. The other thing is, if at any point throughout this video you learn something from the video, or even just agree with something I'm saying, I would very much appreciate it if you did subscribe to the channel. But again, only if you learn something or agree with me. If not, block me and send me an abusive message on Instagram. I'd love to see it. So Pilates has been booming all over TikTok again recently, and I know it's been around for a very long time, but it's becoming particularly trendy again at the moment, again probably due to social media. You've got huge creators like Movement Nicole here who have built a massive platform from uploading Pilates based workouts. And yes, I know before people come for me, you're going to say this is Matt Pilates, it's not Reformer Pilates. There are different types of Pilates. I respect that and I understand that. But one of the things that's always been a bit of an issue with Pilates, as with towards anything in the fitness industry, is a mass amount of information. And that's kind of why the video is titled the way it is. Reason number 1 as to why Pilates may not work for you. Again, this stems from the misinformation. As Pilates said earlier, it helps you essentially sculpt longer and leaner muscles. No, it does not. How lean you are and how lean your muscles may be, although yes, it's going to be a product of expenditure and deficit, it will ultimately come down to not the exercise you're choosing to do, but more how much body fat you have. If you do Pilates a million times a week, but you're at a higher body fat percentage, you're not going to be able to see the definition of the muscles, which again is associated with being leaner. That will come down to being at a lower body fat. Reason number 2 as to why Pilates may not help you achieve the goals you're hoping to achieve. There's a lot of misinformation and opinions stating that Pilates is better for you when it comes to building muscle than weight training or resistance training with weights. This article here states that this individual has basically gained a lot more muscle from doing Pilates than they did from weight training. Was it the Pilates that was the reason as to why you built the muscle? Was it the fact you actually remained more consistent with Pilates for a longer period of time? Maybe the choice of exercise is not the sole reason as to why the muscle has been built, but maybe it comes down to what you did and your consistency.
That's exactly why weight training will get you somewhere faster, because you can get a lot more volume, a lot more weight with a dumbbell and a barbell than you can just do with a couple cables on a reformer.
And as Kelty has said here, another con of Pilates is that your progressive overload ceiling is limited. You can only do so much, you can only lift so heavy, therefore your ability to progress can only go so far. As opposed to weight training, you can progress a lot further because your opportunities are borderline endless, because you can essentially just lift heavier weights for a very long time until your gym runs out of heavy weights or your home runs out of heavy weights. And moving back to Movement Nicole, we look at another con here, which is the fact that actually kind of stems from what we spoke about previously. Not just about the fact that you're limited regarding how heavy you can go, which is actually relevant when it comes to building muscle. You're also limited with how hard you can push. So we're looking at the movements that she's doing here. And again, a lot of people choose Pilates because they are looking to build muscle and tone up, for a lack of a better term. And again, to do that, you're going to have to actually train pretty hard. So training intensity is actually really important. And although people are going to come to me and say, oh, do a Pilates class and tell me it's not hard. Didn't say it wasn't hard, but I'm saying it might not always be hard enough. When we're looking at actually really building muscle, we do want to take things to, if not close to failure. And that's not something that's often achieved through Pilates. And when people think they're at failure, they could probably do a lot more. And that's actually been proven in research that people's perception of failure, where they believe failure is actually largely skewed. And it seems to be, from anecdotal evidence, from what I've seen from coaching, a lot more common when it comes to lower body movements. And number 5, a reason why Pilates may not help you achieve your goals, which actually kind of stems into the next topic of the video, is that I don't actually know what your goals are. A lot of my videos speak about the context of hypertrophy, so building muscle. And like I said, a lot of people do get involved with Pilates because they do want to build some muscle. Fantastic, I love to see it. There are other reasons one could do Pilates. And now we're going to flip over to the reasons why Pilates might actually help you achieve your goals. Very quickly, I've got to say it. Link down below, you've got a few things. You've got the link to apply to work with myself on a one-to-one online coaching basis where I can help you achieve your goals, whatever they may be and wherever you may be in the world. You've also got the link to the TFNL training teams, which for less than $1 a day, you can follow a really good program made for the group by me, which can be done either at home or at the gym, whichever tickles your pickle. You've also got the TFNL workout guides, which tell you what to do, show you how to do it, and even tell you why to do it too, which is bloody fantastic and very informative. And you've even got TFNL clothing. So all of those things are linked down below in the description if any of those things happen to tickle your pickle. And firstly, a big one there is looking at Movement Nicole's video, ease of accessibility. You do not need to go to a gym to do mat Pilates like this. You can essentially do it with just your body weight. You don't even need a mat to lie on, although I probably would recommend it for a bit of comfort. And when it comes to adding additional equipment like these bands, you can actually pretty cheaply acquire them from the internet. So the barriers to entry might be a lot lower. And also there's another thing there with confidence and anxiety. A lot of people actually don't like going to the gym due to the anxiety that is often associated with training, which I fully respect and fully understand. Whereas if you're actually working out at home, although personally I find the motivation to actually get moving at home is a bit harder, it does remove or help reduce at least that anxiety and that barrier to entry from actually going to the gym. And number two, another factor that people really neglect is enjoyment. At the end of the day, I always say the best workout for you is the one you can remain most consistent with. Although yes, hands down, no argument here that weight training and heavy resistance training is going to be better for you at building muscle than Pilates will be. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to stick to it. And if you can't stick to it, it's not going to be very good for you at all. Whereas if you actually can stick to Pilates because you enjoy it, then you're going to be more consistent, which means you're probably going to see better results because you actually stick to it for a long time. I know someone's thinking, oh, but Harry, I think Pilates is better for you building muscle than it is weight training because I built more muscle doing Pilates, doing reform Pilates, whatever it may be. If Pilates was really better for building muscle than weight training, then pro bodybuilders, who are the most muscular people in the world, would do Pilates, they would not weight train. Again, stating that Pilates is the best thing for you when it comes to building muscle is like saying the best way to train for a marathon is by swimming a lot. No, you probably need to run a lot more actually. Number three, mobility. A lot of people are really focused on mobility, especially as people get older. A lot of the concerns people may have is becoming immobile. Although yes, hands down, I think weight training and resistance training can be so beneficial to you, even when considering mobility as you get older. If you're not interested in that, doing some activity that's going to put you through relevant ranges of motion like Pilates is going to have some great benefits when it comes to getting older and actually maintaining a healthier and more physically capable body for longer periods of time as age does occur. And another thing, I would probably call this the last point, is that a reason why Pilates may actually help you achieve your goals is that you can do both. There's always been this big argument between, oh, you have to weight train or you have to do Pilates, but why do you only have to do one of them? Why can't you do both? Kelty actually mentioned in her video that we looked at previously that you can do both and they shouldn't be against each other. They can actually work with each other. And I fully respect it. Not everybody here is looking at being the most muscular version of themselves they can be. Some people here just want to get a bit stronger, maybe a bit more flexible, a bit more mobile, and also maybe a bit leaner and also build a bit of muscle. Yes, weight training could be fantastic for that. So could Pilates, but you know what? Maybe they could be fantastic together. There's no reason you can't weight train twice a week and do Pilates twice a week as well. Pilates is going to be a lot less physically demanding when it comes to recovery and how taxing it is on the body than weight training. Therefore, it could be a great accessory to your weight training to either maybe help with mobility if that's something you want to consider, to potentially be more of a lighter training session. So it's another active day where you consider it a training session, but it's not one where you're exerting yourself as much as you would be if you were weight training. There are so many options. You do not have to choose one or the other. This video was simply titled to get attention because quite frankly, that's what YouTube is. Trying to get as many people to click on it. And the more people that click on the video, the more YouTube is going to push this video to other people. And if people can come into this video thinking they're going to come for me, that I'm a horrible person that's going to bash Pilates, and then turn away and say, actually, you know what, he didn't bash Pilates, he made some fair points, and actually I never considered that I could do both, then here we go, we've achieved something. At the end of the day, these videos are just my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours in the comment section below. What do you favour? Not when it comes to building muscle, just in general, for your goals, what do you favour? Pilates or resistance training through the means of lifting weights? I know Pilates can technically be a form of resistance training, but you know what I mean. Let me know in the comment section because I'd love to hear it. Until the next one, thank you for tolerating me. Thank you for tolerating my waffle about Pilates. And thank you for tolerating the video.